everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for all of our astrology updates every week. So we're going to get into the week of December 15th to December 21st of 2025. I've got a little bit of a shorter video today, I think. I've got my notes cleaned up a little better, and I think I like it like this going forward. So we'll see how it goes, and let's get into it. So the week begins with a shift towards practical ambition as Mars enters Capricorn on Monday, giving a boost of disciplined and goal-oriented energy. Midweek brings a powerful new moon in Sagittarius, inspiring optimism and setting the stage for fresh intentions. As the week ends, we also have the sun moving into Capricorn right at the winter solstice, which is marking a turn towards pragmatism, long-term planning, and the gradual lengthening of daylight. Now, as of course the winter solstice is the point in the year where the days start to become longer every single day, but it is technically the shortest day of the year. Overall, this week blends fiery enthusiasm with earthy determination, helping us turn big ideas into concrete plans. And Capricorn, being the main Saturn-ruled sign, brings that concreteness and that pragmatism. And the earthy determination, of course, comes from Capricorn being an earth sign. So we really only have three major transits this week. On December 15th, we have Mars entering Capricorn, that's Monday. On December 19th, we have the new moon in Sagittarius, and then we have the sun entering Capricorn on the winter solstice, that would be December 21st. So we'll move right into Monday. We have Monday, December 15th, Mars enters Capricorn at 2:30 a.m. So before you even wake up on Monday morning, Mars will have entered into Capricorn, bringing steady, persistent drive and a focus on long-term results. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, so it's a sign of its exaltation. So actions taken now are deliberate and determined. The moon in Scorpio deepens our emotions and concentration on Monday. The moon entered the intense sign of Scorpio late last night, ending a brief void of course period. This lunar energy encourages research, introspection, and strategic problem solving. Early morning, the Scorpio moon squares Pluto in Aquarius, which could stir up power struggles or restless feelings before dawn. The rest of the day stabilizes, allowing you to channel that intensity into productive efforts. So that's Monday. We'll move right on into Tuesday, December 16th. The sun in Sagittarius squares Saturn in Pisces at 11:30 p.m., creating a late night reality check or feeling of restriction. So for Tuesday, December 16th, the moon remains in Scorpio throughout the day, keeping moods passionate and perceptive. In the evening, the Scorpio moon forms a trine to Jupiter in Cancer, fostering a sense of optimism and emotional generosity. This supportive lunar aspect can help balance out the heaviness of the Sun-Saturn square, encouraging empathy and hope despite any challenges that may arise on Tuesday. The sun in Sagittarius squares with Saturn in Pisces late in the evening, creating a late night reality check or feeling of restriction, and late in the evening around 11:30 p.m., so basically closer to midnight. You might encounter obstacles or need to attend to duties and practical matters. Patience and perseverance are key under this aspect. On Wednesday morning, the moon goes void of course around mid-morning, so around 10:30 a.m., which is a short pause that's best used for routine tasks rather than important new initiatives. Avoid making major decisions during this brief void. The moon enters Sagittarius around 11:30 a.m., lifting the emotional tone to something more upbeat and forward-looking. The moon shifts from secretive and intense to open and optimistic, and adventurous once the moon is in Sagittarius. This is great energy for learning, socializing, and focusing on future plans. With the moon now in fiery Sagittarius, the latter half of the day feels more enthusiastic. It's easier to find humor and the big picture perspective. If you've been brooding on something, you may notice your outlook brightening and a renewed desire to move forward. On Thursday, December 18th, we're in the dark of the moon, in the waning crescent. Today, which generally means low energy and a time for completion rather than initiation. There are no major exact transits today, making it a relatively quiet day astrologically. Take this calm before the new moon to recharge. You might feel philosophical or restless under the Sagittarius new moon, but try to avoid overextending yourself. Mercury in Sagittarius is now direct and out of its post-retrograde shadow, which helps mental energy feel less stuck. Ideas about travel, learning, or big picture plans can flow more freely. Still save the launch of new ventures for tomorrow after the new moon. So on Friday, December 19th, the new moon in Sagittarius peaks around 8:43 p.m. with the sun and moon aligning at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. This new moon marks the beginning of an entirely new cycle, infusing the evening with adventurous, optimistic energy. It's an excellent time to set intentions related to Sagittarian themes, learning, travel, personal growth, and broadening your horizons. And we basically have a cazimi with Mercury and Venus both in Sagittarius with the sun. So the cazimi is when one of the planets lines up with the sun. And although it's not exact cazimis, we do have both Mercury and Venus in Sagittarius at the same time as the new moon in the Sagittarius, which means the moon is in the same sign as the sun. This new moon is closely conjunct with Mars, newly in Capricorn, and Venus in Sagittarius, adding passion and creativity to our fresh start. However, it also squares both Neptune and Saturn, reminding us to keep one foot on the ground as we dream big, aim high with your wishes, but stay realistic about the steps that you need in order to achieve those wishes. Late at night, the moon goes void of course at 10:40 p.m., right after the new moon, then enters Capricorn at 11:50 p.m., grounding the fiery new moon energy into concrete plans. As the moon shifts into Capricorn, you may feel sobering but productive vibes, perfect for committing to goals that you have set earlier on prior to the new moon. On Saturday, December 20th, after the new moon's passed, we have the moon in Capricorn all day, bringing a pragmatic and organized mood. There's that pragmatism again. We have a lot of things going into Capricorn right after this Sagittarius moon, and that's going to be generally the theme of the end of December going into January. Morning hours are energized by the moon's early conjunction with Mars in Capricorn. And the moon moves fast, so it goes right from Sagittarius and is already conjunct with Mars, which can motivate you to tackle chores or holiday preparations with vigor. Utilize this productive streak to make headway on your tasks. The sun in Sagittarius squares with Neptune in Pisces at 8 o'clock p.m., dissolving some clarity and potentially causing confusion or fatigue. By the evening, you might feel dreamy, distracted, or uncertain. Double-check travel plans and be mindful of misunderstandings. Under this influence, things may not be what they seem. It's a good night for low-key activities like watching a movie or reflecting on your ideas rather than making crucial decisions. Social energy may feel a bit strained as Venus in Sagittarius approaches a square to Saturn in Pisces. This aspect perfects just after midnight. You might notice a more serious or reserved tone in your relationships tonight. It's okay if you'd rather have a quiet evening or set some boundaries. Quality over quantity is the Saturn-Venus lesson. So on December 21st, in the very first few minutes of Sunday, we have Venus in Sagittarius making an exact square to Saturn in Pisces at 12:08 a.m. So right in the early minutes of Sunday morning. If you're up late Saturday night, you might experience this as a need to reevaluate relationships or spending. Some may feel loneliness or criticism in matters of love and money under this influence. Take it slow and remember that this energy will soon pass. So maybe a good idea to get a really good sleep on Saturday night so you're not up at midnight on Sunday morning and not experiencing all of this Saturn making an exact square with Venus. So maybe get a good sleep on Saturday night and into Sunday. On Sunday, the sun enters Capricorn at 10 a.m., marking the winter solstice. This is the official start of Capricorn season and the beginning of winter. With the sun now in Capricorn, joining Mars and the moon, the cosmic focus shifts to practicality, responsibility, and setting long-term goals. It's a perfect time to reflect on your accomplishments over the past year and start outlining plans for the next. The Capricorn sun combined with the Capricorn moon and Mars gives Sunday a hard-working, serious tone, despite it being a weekend. Even as holiday festivities approach, there's a sense of wanting to get organized and prepared. Honor the solstice by balancing work with rest. Take note of the shortest day of the year, and perhaps light a candle or set intentions for the growing light from here on out. The evening is relatively calm as the moon continues to wax in Capricorn, encouraging an early night and practical mindset going into the new week. So overall, an exciting week. We close out Sagittarius season with a number of planets in Sagittarius having quite a bit of action. And on the very last day of the season, we have, or within the last 2 days of the season, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. And of course, with Capricorn being the sign directly after Sagittarius, that shift is natural with all of those planets moving together. So I think a great week in the astrology. If you like this video, then please like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment with your thoughts, and stick around for the next videos. We have another weekly video coming next week. I still have my month of January video to put out and my yearly breakdown of 2026. So again, if you liked it, like, subscribe. Thanks a lot for being here. Take care. See you in the next one.